All right, I'm curious about the story with the commanding officer getting an email. Who initiates the motion to remove somebody from the service? Was the commanding officer's, was it just his idea because he got an email?
Yeah, he got his feelings hurt. I mean, he got his feelings hurt, and because he got called out for not having integrity. So essentially, the long and short of it is he gave a project or part of an assignment to a gunnery sergeant. He gave him absolutely no guidance. It was outside of what he should be doing in his MOS. And it wasn't completed the way this officer wanted it completed, although it was absolutely completed and the project was finished. This gunnery sergeant received an adverse fit rep for it. We thought that we were hired to fight the adverse fit rep, which we did because the adverse fit rep was nonsense. It didn't comply with the regulations. It was just an absolute disaster. Whoever blessed off on this adverse fit rep, it was just an unmitigated disaster on the part of the RS and on the RO. And so they got their feelings hurt. So they initiated a separation for a Marine gunnery sergeant with combat deployments to kick him out of the Marine Corps for sending an email saying that the officer didn't have integrity. And so the email went something like, you told me you were not going to give me an adverse fit rep. You have no integrity, followed by like 10 or 12 exclamation points on the end of it. It wasn't the most professional email, and it wasn't an email that you should send. But at the same time, are we really going to kick out a Marine gunnery sergeant, that we spent a lot of time and money training and who has a tremendous amount of potential for an email? And the reality is the gunny was actually calling out the officer because the officer didn't have integrity. And I cross-examined him on this on the witness stand. Funny enough, the officer, when he took the witness stand at the board, he's leaning back and trying to be a smartass, and he puts a big thing of dip into his mouth right at the board. I mean, so how I got it, it's the Marine Corps, right? But putting a big dip in the middle of your testimony is kind of problematic. And when I basically walked him through line by line on the fitness report and all of the problems that were in his writing above the fitness report was so problematic and essentially not true and not corroborated by any evidence. And actually, it was really a failure of leadership on the officer's end. He didn't want to get called out, so they tried to kick the gunny out. They did not expect that he would fight it, did not expect he would hire me or hire a law firm and we'd come out there. So we lined up character witness after character witness after character witness to talk about our Marine gunnery sergeant had integrity. So we made the theme of this integrity that the officer did not have integrity and our Marine gunny did have integrity. And we talked about at the board, if you're going to call out someone's integrity, yours better be perfect. And the board members took a look at it. And while they probably didn't agree with the way the email was sent, I'm confident the board members thought this is asinine that we are at an administrative separation board trying to kick out a Marine gunnery sergeant with, combat deployments for an email. And that's what occurred. And so they came back, and then in about 20 minutes, they found, they retained him in the Marine Corps, and he's still in doing great things. Maybe he'll just have one exclamation point at the end of the email, or maybe just do a period at the end of it, or maybe say, "You have no integrity, sir," or something like that, right? But the reality is that is the modern day military. They don't give a shit how many combat deployments you have. They don't care, what you've done. But if you get a toxic leader and a toxic command, and they want to get you out or harm you in some way or harm your career, they can. And let's say he didn't do anything about it. He rolled in, didn't have a defense. He ran the risk, probably a minimal risk, but he still ran the risk of getting kicked out of the Marine Corps and losing everything. He was a couple of years away from retiring, and you're going to lose that over an email. But that's the risk you run in the modern military that we're in. And it's a shame that happened. If you're under investigation or charged with an offense under the UCMJ anywhere in the world, in particular in Asia, and you need an attorney that can fly out to you, get on the ground, and actually win your case, give me a call and we'll do a consultation. Get more information at www.bileckilawgroup.com or by contacting me directly.